fourth trimester when it comes to pregnancy.
Oh.
See, a lot of people, especially if you haven't gone through pregnancy,
which I haven't.
Right. You're not familiar with it, but it is actually a really critical time for the mother and the baby.
Honestly, I'm really interested in this because I've never heard of this before, and we're going to talk to an expert about the complications for women who have just given birth and exactly what they need to cope. Fourth trimester, huh?
Mm-hmm. Welcome back. You hear a lot about the 3 trimesters of pregnancy, of course, but many know very little when it comes to the 4th trimester. Here to discuss all of this is Marcia Cole, co-founder of the 4th Phase. Good morning, Marcia. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you here with us because this is an important discussion, and I imagine many people who don't have children don't know much about this. So what is the 4th trimester? Can you explain what that is and how it impacts mothers and babies?
Absolutely. So the 4th trimester is actually considered the right after a woman gives birth. And so the time begins literally the second after she gives birth. And it's considered, technically the first 100 days. 4th meaning the trimester is really like the first 12 weeks, but it can go from the first 12 weeks, first 100 days to actually an entire first year of that first year of the new mother having a baby.
And what is the mother and the baby going through during this time? Because this is a critical time, not just physically because you're healing, but also mentally and emotionally.
Exactly. So the mother, what we're trying to do is really normalize the conversations around 4th phase and that 4th trimester period, because the mother is going through physical healing that she has to take care of. She's going through the mental capacity of understanding how to now take care of a newborn child. And so there's 2 things happening in tandem, and society typically focuses on the baby and what the baby needs. But the mother, depending on her birthing method, is going through very, very different scenarios in order for her to become whole again. And so we want to be able to really start understanding that the mother needs to be centered in the conversation as much as the baby, the new baby that's there that everyone is happy about. But the mother may be going through something very, very entirely different. And what she goes through mentally, physically, and emotionally will impact that child.
There's a thing we call baby blues, and many mothers experience this right after birth. But where does it go from being just baby blues, which is normal, to postpartum depression? And that is something that can be lasting.
Well, there is a wide spectrum with that and where that pendulum can swing for her emotional well-being. 1 in 8 women, new mothers, actually experience some level of postpartum depression. And so it's not as uncommon as people think. And thank God we actually have a name for it. 50 years ago, they didn't actually have a name for what a woman was going through. And so because there is a disconnect between her body, what she's feeling in her body, what she's thinking in her mind, and it's not all cohesive in one place. And so the symptoms are the things that, range from I'm sad, I can't get up, I'm lethargic, to all these different things, to a more in-depth or more heightened disconnection between her, who she sees in the mirror, the child that she is actually with, and her feelings around everything overall.
And before we let you go, we want to let people know there's something you're offering, the after-birth box. What is that?
So the 4th phase is an afterbirth care box. It's a gift box that actually provides, we provide 2 boxes, one that is specifically caters to a mother's birthing method. Both of them actually cater to a birthing method. The one birthing method being vaginal birth. The other birthing method, what we call is a belly birth as opposed to a C-section, because we know that there's some stigma around having a C-section birth. And so we renamed it a belly birth, again, so that it's not such a clinical way of thinking about it, understanding, and giving the mother permission to let her know that she still gave birth. And whether, we don't have to stigmatize it to say that it's not a natural birth or anything, but each of those boxes provide specific products that will help her to heal, feel, and be heard. And so it will take care of and allow her to think about, or not actually have to think about, the things that she's going to need. A peri bottle. So we have our peri soother, a belly birth balm for the incision area, lactation tea to help you just in case if you are experiencing difficulties with producing milk for your child, a washer stone, which actually harkens back to an ancient traditional Chinese medicine theory that helps you, again, to push out the milk with the breast is engorged with milk. And so we provide 12 to 14 different products that this new mother is going to need specifically based on the birthing method that she actually has.
All right, this is great stuff, Marcia. Thank you so much. An important conversation to have. Appreciate all the information. And if you're interested, check out fourthphasebox.com. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.